I just got done with like the most amazing 15-minute energizing yoga practice. And before that, I did like a 20-minute grounding meditation. It's funny because like 3 years ago, I would have never just taken like a midday break. I would have told myself, there's not enough time. You can't, like you have to be hustling. Like you could be having a conversation with somebody. You could be making more money. You could be doing this. You could be doing that. But I've gotten into the habit of asking myself, how can I? And asking myself, what do I need? What do I need right now? And if I'm feeling flustered, if I'm feeling aggravated, if I'm feeling frustrated, if I'm feeling flighty or angry or like irritated, that's not how I want to feel. And so I ask myself, like, what can I do right now to feel better? And sometimes that's just taking a step back and being like, what do I need? Well, I listened. I quieted my mind and I said, I need a grounding meditation. Like that would be awesome right now. And so I just put the other things aside for a second because those aren't life or death. You're always going to have dishes. You're always going to have laundry. You're always going to have content to create. You're always going to have follow-up emails. You're always going to have things to post. Those things will not end. Okay. Those things are always going to be there. But right here, right now, what do I need? If I can energize my mind, body, and spirit right now, I will be able to focus more on my family, more on my business, more on my money mindset or abundance or whatever it is that I'm working on. And so I just kind of cleared this next hour and I said, I'm going to do a 20-minute grounding practice and I'm going to follow it up with like a 15, 20-minute energizing yoga. And I'm just going to do that because I feel like I need that right now. And I can't tell you how amazing I feel just by giving myself that half an hour, 40 minutes to reground, refocus, re-energize. And now I'm like, oh, I'm going to do a podcast because I realized that I didn't do any podcasts last week. And that's okay. You guys are still here. You're listening today. The world didn't end because I didn't post a podcast last week. I know everybody else in their whole business world is like preaching consistency. And I get it. Like you want to be consistent in posting, but at the same time, you don't want to burn yourself out. And I want you to take inspired action because that is what gains the most traction is that inspired action, that stuff where you're like, I feel called to talk about this, or I feel called to post this, or I feel called to share this. So you always want to be like creating momentum, creating action, taking action when you're in that inspired state. And you guys know what I mean. There's a difference between choosing to do something because every bone in your body, every ounce of your being is like, you need to do this thing. It's that pull, it's that nudge, it's that energizing action. It's like, oh, you're just in flow and you're in this different time, space, reality. And time seems to just fly by. You know, people say like, time flies when you're having fun. That means you're in that inspired state. You're in a different time, space, reality. You can also call this, I think it's like Chronos reality. It's like where everything is flowing and everything is easy. And then there's linear time where, you know, you have like your hours of a day, you know, you have your things that you need to do throughout the day. And sometimes like it feels forced. And there's times where like you can check all of the boxes throughout the day, but you still feel like something's missing. You still feel like there's not enough. And that's because you're not really listening to like your soul's calling. Like you're not filling your cup on a deeper level. You're just doing the surface level self-care things so that you can, you know, check mark the boxes and say, oh yeah, I did my meditation. Oh yeah, I did my exercise. Oh yeah, I ate healthy. But are you really like embodying it? And so this is the difference, right? And this is where you can start to manifest even more in your life when you tune in to those inner nudges, that intuition, that thing inside you, whether it's visualizations, divine downloads, sometimes it's just taking inspired action. People receive intuition very, very differently. But it's listening to that. It's getting quiet and saying, what is it that I need? And a lot of you or a lot of women that I work with are scared to get quiet because they're like, I don't know what's going to happen. Like, I don't want to know what I think if I'm not being busy. They're scared of fear of failure, fear of success, fear of rejection, fear of I don't have enough, fear of lack of time, fear of lack of money. And those are the things that I really want to talk about this week is all of those fears, because if you're living in a fear-based reality, you are going to continue to manifest fear-based realities every day, all day, every day. Every time that you put a thought out into the world, whether it's intentional or not, is manifesting in your physical reality. So if you're doing all the things to, quote unquote, grow your business or grow your financials, but your underlying belief is this is never going to work, there's not enough money, there's not enough time, guess what's going to happen? You can be doing all of the action steps, but unless the energy behind it is there, unless the intention behind it is there, unless the mindset and the belief is there, you are not going to be at a vibrational match to call in that level of abundance and freedom that you want in your life. I see it all day long because I used to be that person. The number one thing that I can tell people is with debt. This is when it comes to money anyways. When it comes to money, people are like, I want to get rid of my debt. I want to pay down my debt. And they just talk about debt until they're blue in the face. They're like, debt, 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 debt. I want to pay down debt. I want to pay down debt. I don't like debt, blah, 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 blah. But yet unconsciously, subconsciously, on a deeper level, they keep acquiring more debt. They get a bigger house, so they have a bigger mortgage payment. They buy another car, so now they have another car payment. Or, they have another credit card. Or, they call and increase their credit limit. Or, they start buying more things, or they upgrade to a different food system. Whatever it is, they're increasing their bills, even if they're making more money, even if they're quote unquote paying down their debt, they're acquiring it in other areas of their life. And you know why? Their dominant thought is debt. Their dominant thought is, I only have this much. There's only this much to spend, blah, 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 blah. So I want to challenge you with, and it's just like, I always tell people, if I say not to think of a red balloon, what are you going to think of? Duh, you're going to think about a red balloon. I'm telling you, do not think of a red balloon. Don't do it. You better not think of a red balloon. Don't even picture a red balloon in your mind. Doesn't matter how many times I say not to do it. It is the focus of your attention. Your brain does not know how to negate, right? It can't do the opposite, just like the universe. Whatever you focus on, you get more of, whether it's good, bad, or ugly. So I want to challenge you to focus on abundance, wealth mindset. How can I? Financial independence, financial freedom. What does it look like to be free from those chains? And start focusing more on that. Make your money work for you. And another thing is I have people who come to me who are business owners and they're like, I would love to bring in people who pay me $1,000, $2,000, $5,000, $10,000, $20,000, yet they won't invest that amount in themselves. You will never be able to call in people at a $5, $10, $15, $20,000 investment, hell, even a $300 investment, unless you get really uncomfortable with yourself and can invest that amount in yourself. I know this because I've been there and I've done that. When I first started coaching, I was doing freebies, like begging people to work with me because I had such a lack mindset. I was like, oh man, I can't charge people $10. I can't charge people $20. And then as I started to get uncomfortable and as I started to raise my level of vibration, people come to me now and they're like, oh my God, I can't believe you're only charging this much. And I just have to chuckle because, everybody has a different money mindset. Everybody has a different money mindset. And I can always tell where people are based on how they react to the money, and I'm not like a millionaire, you guys. Like if somebody were to come up to me and be like, Sasha, I want you to invest in this $1 million property. And if it was something I really wanted, I would be like, shit, I don't have $1 million right now. But I bet you if I wanted it bad enough, I would find a way to make it happen. And you just watch, because I got some tricks up my sleeve and you guys are going to see some really kick-ass things coming up in 2021, because I'm telling you, the better it gets, the better it gets. And the only thing that holds us back is us and our belief if we can or cannot have something. And I am so done with telling myself I can't do something, or I'm not good enough, or I'm not worthy enough. And I want to teach people to embody this same thing within themselves. You are worthy. You are enough. You can have anything your heart desires. It is you that is holding yourself back. So if you find that you have a really lack mindset, a really poor mindset where you're like, ugh, I only have this much money. I only have this much money. If I told you this month you had to come up with $10,000 and I would write you a check December 1st for $1 million, you just have to come up with 10,000 and I would write you a check for $1 million. Would you find a way to do it? Fuck yes, you would. You would sell things. You would get extra jobs. You would ask people for money. You would find creative ways to be resourceful to make it happen. And it's no different in your personal life right now, in your professional life right now. You can have this very skill set once you decide to think outside the box that you put yourself in. We put our own selves in a box. We create our reality based on our beliefs. And so if there's something that you desire in life, whether it's a 6-figure business, a 7-figure business, whether it's a certain level of financial freedom, whether it's a certain level of time freedom, whether it's having a certain spouse or soulmate that's being called into your life, until you start vibrating at that frequency, you will not call that direct match into your life. It is not possible. It's like having a dollar mindset, you can't have like a dollar-based mindset expecting to act the way a millionaire does. If you have conversations with millionaires, which I have, my mind is blown every time I talk to those people. And I'm like, oh my God, that makes so much sense. But until I start getting out of my way and having those conversations, they think at an entirely different frequency. Think of your life as a radio station, okay? And you're over here and you're hanging out on like 95.5, but you really want to be over on like 105.7, okay? You have to raise your vibration and dial into that frequency. How do you do that? Change your beliefs, support yourself nutritionally, exercise, get sunshine, meditate, overcome these stories that you're telling yourself and these beliefs that you're telling yourself. So many of us carry stories from ages ago, whether that's parents or money or jobs or people telling us that we're not good enough or we've already been told no 18 million times. And you start to carry that weight in your energy body. And so we're going to talk about the chakra system here in a minute, because this is another thing that I've really been diving deep into these last few years, just energy healing in general and uncovering these belief systems that are holding us back. And so sometimes we have a story, again, whether it has to do with a parent or money or a job or school or maybe you had some trauma or maybe you had some abuse and you're holding that stuff deep down because you don't know how to get rid of it. You don't know how to move through it. And I'm not saying to like discount it. I'm not saying to forget that it ever happened, because that is totally opposite of what I'm trying to do here. I want you to feel those emotions. And I want you to feel your way through it. You have to work through it, because if you start to shove that stuff deep down, you are numbing out. You are numbing out. It is a coping mechanism, and it's getting stuck in your energy body and it's causing a block. This is where you start to feel overwhelmed and anxious, and the self-doubt comes in, the lack of self-worth comes in, the I'm not good enough, and the spiral downward, okay? But if you can move through those things and learn to let go, you can start to move freely, and then your energy bodies start to spin freely. Think of your life as a spine, and I say this to every person I'm on a call with. People can relate to this because it's a visual, okay? Your life is a spine, and each vertebrae is something different in your life, whether it's kids, relationship, money, business, spouse, whatever, okay? Say the money piece is out of whack, the career place is out of whack, maybe the health place is out of whack. So you have 3 vertebrae out of whack on your spinal column, okay? You feel that throughout your whole body. It affects every other part of your life. It hurts to drive. It hurts to sit down and go to the bathroom. It hurts to shower. It hurts to cook. It hurts to sleep. Body parts start to go numb. Things start to get tingly. You start to get irritated because you're not sleeping well, and it starts to spiral. And so my job working with me in this group, either in this mastermind or maybe on a one-on-one, if you're like, oh, I feel like I need even more, because that's what's coming up next is I'm opening enrollment for my one-on-one coaching. But my job is to help you get those pieces back into alignment so you can function free-flowing, so that you can stand up and sit down and pee and drive and jump up and down and sleep well, feel good. And that will help you raise your vibration so that you can start to call in this level of abundance, this level of freedom that you desire most in your life. And so you may think that you have a money problem. You may think you have a time problem, but what you really have is a limiting belief problem, because there's plenty of time and there's plenty of money. I know this because I have experienced this. I can tell you firsthand. I was that person years ago. I used to write bad checks on Wednesday, hoping that they didn't cash them until Friday because I didn't know how the fuck I was going to pay my bills. Okay. I was that person that thought that there was never enough time. So I was hustling. I never slept. I lived off of caffeine. I lived off of nicotine. I smoked a lot. I drank Red Bulls all the time. I thought a healthy meal was a Pop-Tart and a Mountain Dew. Okay. I've been there. I've done that. It didn't serve me well. And now I'm on this other end of the spectrum. And not that I'm perfect, guys. Like there's no such thing. Let's just get that out there. There's no such thing. And I'm still working on this journey. Just because I'm a few steps ahead doesn't mean that I'm any better than you. It means that I want you to get on my level because I want you to feel this good too. And I want to hold space for you and show you what's possible in your life because nothing brings me more joy than taking you from where you are to where you want to be and then seeing how good that feels because then it affects every area of your life and you start to smile more, you're happy more. You have better relationships. All of a sudden you get bonuses at your job or you get more money that flows into your life. You have better sex with your spouse. You have better connections with your kids. You start that podcast that you've been putting off for years. Things really start to manifest in your life when you can start to feel good. Okay. And so that is my job. That is my job, is to help you feel good and to show you what is possible for you. So with that being said, I am doing a limited time offer for my podcast listeners only. This is not going on Instagram. This is not going on Facebook. This is for my podcast listeners only. I will open up 5 spaces. Technically, we are already closed in the Manifesting Mastermind. Technically, we're done. Like it's getting started. It is starting this week. But I will open for a limited time 5 spaces. First come, first serve, 5 spaces for the Manifesting Mastermind. If you are serious about uncovering what is stopping you, what is holding you back, and really serious about manifesting what you desire most in life, this dream life, this life that you put on your vision board, this life that you daydream about, if you are serious about making that happen and having the support and having the community and getting into that nitty gritty hard things so that you can have that level of freedom and abundance that you want, please head on over to sashadavis.com/mastermind. Book your call. Book your free clarity call. All you have to do is get on my calendar. Get on my calendar sometime this week or next, and I will hold a space for you, okay? This is a limited time offer for my podcast listeners only. This is a special offer for you guys because this program is already closed and this program will not reopen until April of 2021. And I'm telling you, the price is going to go up because it keeps getting better. It keeps getting better. I keep adding these amazing bonuses. I have these amazing people coming in. I have amazing gifts that I give you guys. You're like the first ones on my retreat list. All of the goodies are in my inner circle. Okay. You're going to meet amazing people. You're going to have amazing connections with the other women in the mastermind group. You get me one-on-one. You get 24/7 support. This is incredible program. You have the modules, you have the videos, you have the PDFs, you have the mastermind calls, you have the coffee chats, you have the Q&As, you have the private Facebook group. You have literally every type of support that you could desire in any type of mastermind, any type of coaching and community program, okay? This is the creme de la creme, or whatever they say. I'm not fucking French, so I don't, it's top notch, right? This is you really getting super crystal clear on what it is that you want and taking action on those things. So again, my special offer for you, I'm opening 5 spaces today, Monday, November 2nd through Friday at midnight. Get on my calendar. All you have to do is book a call. Book a call this week for either this week or next week, and we will find a way to make this happen for you. Okay. We will save you a spot in the program. Again, it's first come, first serve, but let's just have a conversation around it. Okay. I do have other offerings. If you're one of those people that's like, I think I really need a one-on-one, or, maybe if you want me to kick your ass in another way, we can absolutely have that conversation. Okay. I am here to help you become the best version of yourself. So ask yourself, what does my highest self look like? How does she show up? Where does she live? What does she dress? What does she do for her career? How much money does she make? How does she show up every day? What does her morning routine look like? What does her evening routine look like? What does she have for meals? Who are her friends? Who is her support team? Who is her community? And I want you to start showing up like her right now. And if you're not sure what those answers are, let me help you. Let me help you. Ask and you shall receive. Freedom is on the other side of fear. You just have to go through the hard stuff to get to the other side. That's where the magic happens. That's where you start to prove yourself that it's not so scary. And I don't have to be afraid of failure. I don't have to be afraid of success. I don't have to be afraid of not enough time, not enough money, because you have an abundant mindset and you know that there's always going to be more and you're always going to be provided for, because this world is a magical, magical place. Think of it as like the air that you breathe, right? You never have to think about taking your next breath. It just free flows in and out. There's an abundance of air. You can have an abundance of time and you can have an abundance of money, just like you have an abundance of air to breathe. It can be that easy. You just have to switch your mindset around it and let go of all the resistance and all the limiting beliefs that come up. And that's where I come in, because I'm like, stop that right now. Try this. Stop that right now. Try this. And it's like waking up with a new pair of glasses on. You wake up from bed and you're like, wow, I can see the world differently. And then the things that you desire most will start to manifest in your physical reality, and it will feel like magic. I hear this all the time. The people in the group are already saying it. They've committed to the program and they're starting to get random checks in the mail. I've had that happen 3 times. There was 3 different women who committed to this program not knowing how they were going to pay for it, and they got unexpected checks in the mail for the exact amount of the program or more. And when you start to trust in the unknown and just like let go of the who's, the what's, the how, and just know that it's going to work itself out, sit with it, meditate on it, put it out into the world, it will happen. It has to happen. It's law. Like attracts like, okay? What you focus on, you get more of. And when you focus on those desired outcome, that desired result, and get really crystal clear on what it is that you want, you can have anything that your heart desires. And a lot of times it will come to you in unexpected ways that was better than you could have even imagined. And this is how it works. Let me show you how. So I hope you have a kick-ass Monday. I hope to talk to you soon. If now's not the time, I completely understand. Not everybody's ready for this level of commitment in their personal and professional development life. I get it. I was there too at one point. I did all the freebies. I read all the books, and then I was pissed at myself that I couldn't figure out why I wasn't getting the results that I wanted. And this isn't to like call anybody out. I mean, you don't have to have a coach, but I'm telling you that if you want to get from point A to point B the quickest way possible, you should hire some support. It was game changing for me. I will forever have a coach, whether it's in my personal life, my professional life, whether it's in my spiritual work, whatever it is. I work with 3 people right now. Just so you know, I have a life coach, I have a spiritual coach, and I have a business coach. And I will forever, I have a hypnotherapist appointment tomorrow. I do energy healing. I've done Reiki. I've done pranic. I'm constantly trying to like uncover these blocks and move to the next level. So just know that you can have support in multiple areas of your life. You can never have enough support. And this is where that abundance comes in, right? Because I never used to have any of these things. Hell, it was like pulling teeth to get me to see a therapist. I was like, I am not going to go talk about problems to a freaking therapist. I was not going to do it. But I had to get over my ego. I had to get over myself. I had to let go of those things that were holding me back. And now I'm like, no, I want support everywhere. Come clean my house. Come cook me food. Come help me uncover these stories that I have about money and parents and all this other stuff. Come help me dive deeper into my spiritual journey. Come help me take my life and business to the next level. Please show me the way, because I am so done with thinking that I'm running out of time or I'm running out of money. The better it gets, the better it gets. I hope to see you inside the mastermind. Catch you guys later. Thanks for listening to the Sasha Davis podcast. For more information on personal and professional development, we've created a master list of all of the resources discussed in the podcast and the blog. So head on over to sashadavis.com/resources for our full list.